What's up, everybody? Welcome back to I'm That Game Channel. My name's AJ Gels. How y'all doing? I wanted to do this video real quick. It's sort of a prelude to the weekly show on Sunday because I feel like we're going to be talking a little bit more in depth about this whole PS5 thing, the whole thing with Mark Cerny yesterday. I don't have any articles or videos or anything for you guys today. It's just going to be me talking in the camera. Well, I guess me talking in the microphone with this up on screen. But either way, I kind of wanted to give my reactions just kind of like a day removed from the big event and everything, because I've been seeing a lot of things on Twitter, a lot of PlayStation, a lot of Xbox people going back and forth, and I'll kind of give my takes on some of that stuff as well. But I guess to kind of start off was, what was my thought of the actual event itself? I was really afraid that this is what PlayStation was going to do, and they did it. It reminds me of when Mark Cerny came out and gave the whole thing for the PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro. It was really cool. I think the guy knows I think Mark Cerny is an extremely intelligent man. I'd say genius. I mean, he makes amazing consoles. I don't understand what the hell he's talking about, though. I'm going to be entirely honest. It's one of those that me as a layman, when it comes to the tech side of games, I have no idea what he's talking about. I mean, I could not watch. I tried on multiple occasions. I could not watch the entirety of Cerny's address because it's just an hour of just him talking about the tech and everything. I mean, I caught bits and pieces, but just the way he explains things, I don't understand them. I mean, I basically understand that. Okay, it's that it's stuff some stuff that we kind of already knew. Things like that we can download games in chunks instead of all at once. Basically, the load times are going to be cut down. Backwards compatibility is not going to work like we thought it would. The way they were kind of selling it to us earlier was that we'd be able to play our PS4 discs on our PS5. The way it looks like that now is not going to happen, or it's not everything. It's going to be kind of like what Xbox did this generation. And I'm seeing a lot of people who are talking about that and kind of making fun of it, but I'll get into that stuff in a second. Let me finish up my thought necessarily on the event itself. My thoughts on the event itself was just, it's like I said, I think it was bland. I think it was boring. It was something perfect for something like GDC, because that's where this talk was supposed to be. I think, how to put it, I found this to be boring, but at the same time, I don't think this was ever going to be anything else. I think so many people who are upset and are kind of mad at PlayStation that this is their first time showing off the PS5, they bring out Mark Cerny and he just sits and gives basically a tech lecture for an hour. Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting. I was hoping they wouldn't do it. I was hoping that they'd be, try and do more of a sizzle trailer, kind of do a little bit more show, not tell, as opposed to just kind of, like I said, lecturing us. But should we really be surprised that this is what the route that they went, especially seeing that, again, this was supposed to be at the Game Developers Conference. This was this was basically the talk they were going to give there, except now on the internet. So I'm not surprised that this is what we got. It's just, let's be honest, it's pretty boring. But now the things that I find interesting over the way people are talking about this on the internet. You're seeing a lot. I think you're seeing a lot of Xbox people try and dunk on the PlayStation people. It's like, oh well, the spec, because everybody's like, oh, because anytime you see something that'll say the PS5 is still going to be a beast, it's, oh well, the Xbox is going to be so much more powerful. To which so many people are saying, okay, but what games are you going to play on it? Now, I mean, hell, I saw this one exchange between two people, which I still, my overall opinion on I still think PS5 is going to win. I still, that's the way it looks to me, because again, I'm looking at the exclusives that we have lined up, what we know is going to be coming to the PS5 versus what we know is going to be coming to the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X, I don't even know, the stupid Xbox thing. What we know currently, I still think PlayStation is going to have the edge on games. I think they're going to have the edge on marketing near the end. I think it's I honestly, if what everybody's saying is true, I think the PlayStation 5 is going to come in cheaper, be it $50 to $100. I think the PS5 might come in cheaper, in all honesty. But you listen to people. I saw one actual exchange between two guys, and one of them said, oh, everybody's acting like the Xbox isn't going to have any games. I mean, well, the PS5 doesn't have any games right now either. It's not even out. And I'm sitting there thinking, they're talking about the games that we know are coming to PS5. Just to name three, we have Horizon Zero Dawn 2, God of War 2, we got Spider-Man 2. There's tons of PlayStation properties that haven't had the door slammed on them. I mean, hell, we know that Naughty Dog's talking about a new one. We've heard talks that a new Uncharted isn't out of the realms of possibility. Sony's got so many developers that have so many really great. They have so many great properties that we haven't seen in a while. I mean, especially now that they picked up Insomniac. I mean, again, we could see Resistance come back. We could see, again, what I'm always hoping, Ratchet and Clank comes back. I'm still hoping that Sucker Punch will someday bring back Sly Cooper in some iteration. It is similar to what Jack and Daxter with Naughty Dog. Hell, we know that Sony Interactive right now is working on a deal with Konami, or supposedly this is rumors. I should preface it with this, that they're working with Konami on new ways to basically bring back Silent Hill. So we know PlayStation is working with a lot of big companies and a lot of big titles. With Xbox, to everyone who's like, well, Xbox looks like it's going to be so much beefier. Okay. I think that there is a counter argument to something that actually, one of the bits that I actually saw, I heard Cerny kind of talk about, and the way I understand what he said, the way I understand what he said, if that makes sense. I think that there's a counter to this to the argument that the Xbox is just so much beefier than the PlayStation 5. And they're all, okay, great. Let's say that's true. Let's say that it actually does, everything does look so much better on your Series X. Okay, you're going to play Halo and make that look fantastic. What other exclusives does Xbox have right now to draw you in? Or that's even going to make use of that massive power gap? Because again, this is what I've been saying for the longest time. Xbox has pretty much Halo and Gears of War now, which are not the big money grabs that they used to be. I really, other than that, all we keep seeing them is these smaller games from smaller developers. Again, I keep bringing up Sea of Thieves and State of Decay. I love State of Decay. I've been playing the Juggernaut edition for State of Decay 2 for the last day and a half or so, and I'm loving it. But it's not going to move units. Again, I sound like a broken record every time I talk about this stuff. I do not see Xbox, in terms of its lineup, in position to fight what Sony's lineup that even the Sony lineup that we know, even if you want to say, well, it's still not that much. It's basically those three games that I mentioned plus, a few other titles. I don't see Xbox having stuff to fight that. I've constantly said, it's one of those things that it's basically fine. You've got a monster car, but nowhere to drive it. That's kind of been my take on it. And I'm trying to stay on one topic at a time and not jumping all over the place. But like I said, this is a very unplanned video that just kind of decided to do in the last 10 minutes. But another thing that I kind of found interesting, it was something that I took from Mark Cerny. He basically was saying something along the lines of judging your console's performance based off of teraflops and all this and all that technical jargon isn't the best way to measure performance. He was talking about this in the presentation. And again, this is how I've kind of understood how he talked about it. And the way that a lot of other people are writing about it, they're making this point, and that is these two consoles are probably going to look very similar in what they pump out. They're just doing it different ways. The Xbox is doing it through just pure massive hardware. The way Sony's going to do it is by the utilization of the hardware that they're using. Again, it has something to do with the SSDs and everything that I keep seeing so many people. I keep seeing people writing articles that a lot of the developers on Sony's inner circle, people at Naughty Dog and whatnot, are saying that they're really excited to work with the PS5 tech. So just because on paper the Xbox Series X is better, again, this is going to be one of those that I think we're going to have to look at them side to side. And hell, even if and again, let's say looking at them side to side, let's go back to my previous point, that Xbox has the advantage. How did that work out for them this generation? Again, this is... because I've actually gotten confirmation about this. I believe the Xbox One was supposed to be... the Xbox One was supposed to be stronger than the PS5. It had more power. But the PS5 still kicked the crap out of it, and I would argue the games on the PS4 looked better than on my Xbox. I think that so many people are focusing on the power. Again, I always bring them up whenever I talk about talk about Xbox v PlayStation, and that's Ryan McCaffrey. A guy, again, I constantly say I respect him, but I think he's trying to dunk on the PlayStation fans, because I saw some tweet that he's putting out, comparing what we know about the PS5 to the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X. And he's going on, listing all these things. And then he brings up the fact that, the PlayStation isn't even going to have complete backwards compatibility and all this stuff, and unlike the Xbox Series X. And I'm sitting there going, wait, no, the Series X isn't going to have complete backwards compatibility. That's not true. Xbox has said it's not going to be like what the PS2 was to the PS1, where you just put your PS1 disc into your PlayStation and you're good. No, it's going to be only a certain titles. Look, do I think both platforms are going to try and get almost everything? Sure, but still, as far as I understand it, both companies are not saying at this moment every Xbox One game or every PS4 game will work on the PS4, the Xbox Series X or the Xbox 5 or the fucking hell. The Xbox needs to shorten the title of this console. Not everything that works this generation will work on the Series X or the PS5. That's how I'm taking it. So again, I look at it, the backwards compatibility is a wash. And hell, even then you want to talk about backwards compatibility. Again, that was a feature that was brought into the Xbox, and it still didn't drive sales up enough to even compete with PlayStation. Again, this is just what I keep saying. Sure, let's say everything is what it is. Xbox has the advantage in power. I don't think it's going to help them in sales, or I don't think that's going to directly correlate to sales. I just don't, because again, I don't think that worked for them this generation. I mean, I don't know. Again, like I said, this is all kind of snap reactions. I'll probably talk a little bit more about this on Sunday, but just the way everything looks to me right now, again, I feel like we're kind of in the same position that we were last week. It just, everybody, again, this is just giving more stuff for everybody to sit online and argue and fight about, because again, like I said, I don't think we know more now than we did last week, but at the same time, I don't think it changes anything. Because again, yeah, again, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of I'm kind of going in circles now. Again, I think I made myself clear that my position really hasn't changed. Like I said, I don't think anything's completely changed compared to what we knew last week, compared to what we know now that Sony's kind of shown their hand a little bit. But that's overall my opinion. Again, if you want the cliff notes are, I still think Sony will come out of the gates sprinting, and I really question what the Series X is going to do. I have a feeling this is going to be one of those that either I'm going to be right or the Series X is going to do so much better than I thought. I don't think this is going to be one of those situations where the Xbox does pretty well. No, I think the Series X is either going to do really well or it's going to fall on its face. At least when we compare it to PlayStation. That's kind of my take on it. So there you go, guys. There's my snap reactions to the PS5 reveal. Like I said, we should have more on Sunday. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me. If you could follow me, as I was just, like I said, I didn't have notes. I didn't have anything sitting here. I've just been kind of talking off the top of my head. So if you enjoyed this, guys, thanks so much. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, all that general stuff. Other than that, the social media's in the description, and I'll see you next time. But until then, guys, my name's AJ Gels. This is Love Game Channel. I'm out.